Giggs. No. Rhodri.
Is there anything that Lionel Messi is better than you at? It's opinions. I respect your opinions. Maybe in your opinion Messi is better than me, but in my mind I'm better than him.
I do it again.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just hit the money and go stack up. Only buy cars, so you tat it up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up,
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Ace Podcast Nation, the home of Rhodri Giggs on football. We are talking all things football this evening. It's going to be probably a Man United heavy show because they play about 65 times a week.
Yeah, lovely.
We'll talk about other stuff as well. But there's lots to discuss, including we got a couple of big games on the weekend to discuss. So we'll have a look at them as well later, do some predictions and a like. But just as we wait for the latecomers, we'll give a little Super 6 update. So obviously we do the Super 6 Prediction League to raise a bit of money for charity. And we test our footballing knowledge. I've been taking Rhodri to the cleaners, unfortunately, recently. But let's have a look. We've had 2 rounds since last week. Willie Boland and Andy Campbell both had 16 points in Saturday's round. Willie Boland came out on top with the closer to the golden goal prediction. 2 Cardiff legends there fighting it out at the top. And Tuesday's round was won by friend of the show, Rye, from Plymouth. So another interesting week. But last week I was 29 points ahead of Rhodri. And after 2 rounds this week, I'm still 29 points ahead of Rhodri. We both scored 19 points over the 2 rounds. So there we go. I forgot my round yesterday, so I'm not sure how that works. I think Will might have that wrong, but we'll see. We'll see. But
inquiry.
It's indeed, mate. I think there might have to be there.
It's been some skullduggery going on, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's giving you an out, don't I know? But there we go. And as always, I'm joined by ex-FC United and, of course, Bangor City, Salford City winger, Mr. Rhodri Giggs. How are you, my friend? You good?
Aberystwyth Town. Just throw that one in as well.
Aberystwyth. Lovely place.
Did a couple of months there until I realised how far away it is.
Yeah, it's like it's a fair old trek, that is, isn't it?
It's a trek. It's a trek.
Would you rather go there or Newcastle?
I would rather go to Aberystwyth because it's in Wales.
Yes, what an answer. Which takes me nicely, as I mentioned, Newcastle. We may as well start with the Carabao Cup Final from Sunday. First trophy for Ten Hag. And I thought United were pretty comfortable. Like, Newcastle had a little spell in the first half, but after that, I thought, after the goals, I did think United were pretty comfortable all the way through and probably could have pinched another goal, actually. But what did you make of it? Oh, he's off.
Dog's chewing on something, choking on something.
What did you make of it, mate?
Yeah, like you said, it was comfortable, really, wasn't it? It was, it reminded me of. It reminded me of '99, the Newcastle. That was comfortable, really, as well.
But I think the difference is in 1999, I thought Newcastle didn't. I watched the highlights of it the other week. I thought Newcastle didn't turn up to that at all in the 1999 one. They were just average, poor. But I thought Newcastle were pretty good on Sunday. I just thought United were better. Defensively, they look so solid when they got that first choice defence in. And it's like they had Dallo on the right in the first half, and he didn't really do anything wrong, but he obviously is a bit more, attacking minded. Got a book in against, say, Maximan, and then you bring in Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and the Newcastle winger must have been thinking, for Christ's sake, like he's hoping that his fullback's going to tire going into that big Wembley pitch. He's on a booking, and then he brings in arguably the best one-to-one fullback in the country. This must have been demoralising for him. And I thought
jacked him off after a bit, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think Newcastle's problem on Sunday was similar to the problem they've had all season, really. In that, not all season, but certainly recently, they can't score goals. They haven't got a striker who's just going to bang in 20 goals in a season, and I think it's something they'll have to address. But I do think you have to give credit to the, Varane and Martinez at the back, Luke Shaw. Like, they're so solid at the back, United are at the moment, and it's just, and you noticed it yesterday when they put in Maguire, is a big drop in the quality, I think, in all aspects, not just defensively, distribution of the ball, everything. But how did I know League Cup, people write it off as like a second-rate trophy and that, but at the end of the day, for this United team, for Ten Hag to turn around so quickly in 6 months to get a trophy, I always thought that Mourinho and Pep had the right idea about the League Cup. If you can pick up a trophy in March, that just gives you so much momentum going into the end of the season, whatever you're fighting for. And as it is with United, they're in all the competitions. But where do you stand on the
literally with the big teams? It's literally 3 games and you're in a final. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they just don't take it serious. Look at the FA Cup. How many times do we see it? Like last night? How would you think that a League 2 club would go to Southampton? And by the way, Southampton, Grimsby to Southampton. I know you don't know your geography and don't know how to get
no idea, mate. No
Cardiff.
idea.
So, but Grimsby to Southampton is a trek.
I couldn't even tell you where Grimsby is, mate.
I mean a trek. It is like going towards Newcastle, but before you get to Newcastle, it's in between Newcastle and Leeds. So it's like Scarborough, but it's on the coast. So it's a trek. And to Southampton, let me put it in, well, it takes 5 hours to get to Southampton from here. To Grimsby, it'll take me 2 hours at least. So you're talking a round trip of, you're going to stop the service station for an hour. So you're talking a round trip of 16 hours.
Brutal. That is brutal.
But 4,500 fans for Grimsby fans to go, 4,500 fans to travel that distance. And the players have rewarded them with a very, very good win. Indeed,
mate. And I think, I look at teams. I don't think Southampton, for instance, were going to win the FA Cup. But I do think that they should be looking at a Grimsby team and beating them. So it's going to be demoralising. And Grimsby, by the way, the highlights I saw, it looked like Grimsby could have had another goal or two as well. So Southampton got problems. Tottenham losing to Sheffield United. I know people say, Sheffield United up the top of the Championship. But Tottenham have
Wait, 1 minute. Wrexham really beat Sheffield United.
Exactly that, and that's where I was going then. And I was going to say also, Tottenham, mate, should be looking at the FA Cup as a trophy they can win. Most of the big teams are out, bar United and City. Tottenham should be looking at that and thinking, that's a trophy that we can win. And they rested Harry Kane, didn't they? Did he come on tour?
I'm not sure. I have zero. All I know about that game is the result, because I was just watching United.
I know he didn't start, but I didn't.
I know he didn't start because I heard it on the radio this morning. So they're talking on Talk Sport.
But then they played. They had up front. They had Richarlison, Lucas.
It doesn't matter. They're League 2. They should have the reserve squad. It should still beat them.
Well, no, Sheffield United are at the top, and they
No, but still the Premier
Championship.
League players, mate.
Yeah, of course they should. Look, Richarlison has just played in the World Cup for Brazil. Lucas Moura, Son. They're players who've been linked with big moves.
They still should
big
be winning.
players.
At least, they still should be winning that game. But they've not obviously gone with the right mental attitude, and they've been turned over. And we've seen it umpteen times in this FA Cup, and we'll always see it because people don't. They change the teams, and they haven't got the cohesion and the match fitness, and the team turn them over. We see it all. We'll see it all till the end of time. We'll always see it.
Like that United West Ham game, I thought United looked a bit lethargic in the first half, like as if, even though a lot of those players haven't played in those games, like I say, but they
players
just
who haven't played, they're not the same. No, and then when you bring the big boys in at the end, it was like the Alamo. You just knew it was going to happen.
Well,
when you've been to Old Trafford as many times as I have, they had that feeling. This is just a matter of time. You could see it.
When I was growing up, and you'd watch United, even if they were 1-0 down with like 20 minutes to go under Fergie, you expected them to win. You expected them to get a goal with 10 minutes to go and then get one in injury time.
Well, my thought was this time last week they were down 1-0 to Barcelona and he's won. So do a couple of changes, boom.
Yeah.
And there we go.
We're going to talk about when we talk about the Liverpool game on Sunday. We're going to talk about in a bit more detail the run that United are on at the moment. I want to touch on some of these other results of FA Cup games and stuff first. So, like Reece says there, give some credit to Sheffield United, Grimsby. It's not just the poor attitude from these Premier League clubs. They come and they defend for their lives. They hit them on the counter, and they do deserve some credit. And I agree with that. Like Grimsby and Sheffield United, they do deserve credit. Sheffield United have been on a really poor run. They'd lost 2 on the bounce. They were, we talked last week about Middlesbrough chasing them down at the top of the Championship because of their poor form. So to go and beat Spurs is obviously a good performance, good result. But for me, the players, just those 3 that I just named for Tottenham, like they should be beating a Championship side. So it's simple as that.
Sheffield United is not not a surprise as like Grimsby is.
No, it's not. But the Tottenham should still be winning, mate. And this is to me, I think there's a bit of arrogance there resting to Harry Kane. Because it's and that probably gives Sheffield United a lift when they see that team sheet. They'd rather Harry Kane not be playing. It's one of them, isn't it? But Tottenham could have worked. Tottenham should have, and this is why I get frustrated with Tottenham over the years, is they haven't had a trophy for God knows how long.
30 years.
That FA Cup, they should be targeting that at the start of the season, let alone now when teams have gone out.
Give you some of your fans to a day out or whatever. But 30 years. This is why Tottenham Hotspur is not a big club. 30 years. I'll say again, 30 years. Liverpool have won trophies. Arsenal have won trophies in the years. Chelsea have won trophies. United have won trophies. City have won trophies. Tottenham have won nothing.
Leeds have won trophies.
Roy Keane is just hammering them on a weekly basis. They're not Spursy type. Spurs. Gary Neville has it because they knew. They went 3-0 down against them at White Hart Lane, got beat 5-3. That's how poor they are. They can't shut up shop. They can't shut up shop with 3-0. They want to go for more. And this is what Roy Keane was saying. Instead of just, they get a bit giddy. They leave themselves open. Before you know it, it's 3-3. Next minute, Ruud van Nistelrooy. Juan Sebastian Veron. Cheers. 5-3. Ta-da.
That's mentality, isn't it? It's
weird. It's weird. Where over the other side of it, of North London, it's totally different. But they've had the teams that they've had.
So here's a question then: does it come from the manager? Because in the comments, there's
no, it comes from it can't come from the managers because we've had so many.
Well, a couple of people saying Poch. They think under Poch they were just on the brink of starting to challenge for trophies, and then they got rid of him.
And what do you do when you're on top? When you like that, you strengthen.
Yeah, Daniel.
You don't weaken. You strengthen, and they didn't strengthen, and teams overtook him.
Yeah,
That's up top. That's got to be people upstairs dealing with transfers and whatever, because the manager doesn't deal with that. It's director of football and all that rubbish. So it's down to them.
Yeah, I think Daniel Levy's always going to have to take a bit of a blame for that, isn't he? Because he's never
The Aldi Cup.
The Aldi Cup. Come on now.
Stop, Breeze. Oh,
Burnley beat Fleetwood Town, which you'd expect. They should be beating Fleetwood, but equally they got a draw against Man City, which is an interesting one. With obviously companies.
Well, my mate does the radio for BBC Manchester, and he's always it's either doing Bolton, Blackburn, Burnley, or Preston, and he says Burnley's by far the best team, and they'll walk that league. He says the football's unbelievable.
Yeah, we talked a bit about it last week, how good they've been. It'd be interesting that because it's obviously be a big day for company personally to go back to City. And who was it? Someone on TV said he's a potential. I think it was Nader Manua on the US coverage said, company's going there if he does well. It's an audition to be a future Man City manager. And I was like, if say Burnley win, or they goes to penalties, or they get a replay, that will have absolutely zero impact on whether Vincent Kompany ever becomes Man City manager. It was such a stupid comment, and these pundits, they're winding me up, mate.
It's just an easy one to say, innit? Someone's got to overtake Pep in 2 or 3 years, and if he carries on the way they're going and the football they're playing, it's the trend, innit?
Yeah.
And these players take it knowing they're not ready, but they can't turn it down, i.e. Frank Lampard, i.e. Steven Gerrard, and they can't turn it down. But they need that experience. It's really important. And at the top level, if you don't get it right, you look silly.
Mm. What did you make of Roy Keane's comments about Declan Rice that he hasn't kicked on this season? Do you think that's
not really, has he? He's not.
There's no right. All I can say is I've watched him a couple of times in the last month. There's no way that he's £100 million midfielder.
No, he's not. He's not. But in a better team where he's not got to do so much, he's got to concentrate on the things that he's good at, then he'd be a good player. But no, £100 million. No.
I could name several midfielders that I would rather my club sign over him.
Yeah, I'd take Maddison over him. I'd take Bellingham over him.
Ward-Prowse. I would take Ward-Prowse over him every day of the week, mate. But I think it depends if he's playing like more of a box-to-box or an attacking role, or if he's going to play a...
Ward-Prowse can just take free kick.
I don't know. He's pretty good. He is Ward-Prowse, but then I just think say you Arsenal, United, they're looking at him as like to play that Eriksen role, aren't they? Like next to Casemiro. I just think there's so many better. I play Sabitzer or Eriksen before I play Declan Rice. It's just because he's English, mate. And this is what was winding me up. Lee Dixon last night going on about...
Same with Michael Carrick all them years ago.
Yeah.
Paid over the odds. 18 million, I think it was. But at that time, it was like 18 million for Michael Carrick. It's because you bought him off Tottenham, an English club. It's always overflated in its English clubs. We've seen this in the past. Jack Grealish, £100 million. Come on.
But like what I was saying about the pundits, you had like Lee Dixon yesterday.
Gordon, like 40 million quid. Come on.
40 million quid for a player who was not playing very well for Everton. So Lee Dixon's giving it, going on about Anthony, going, oh yeah, he hasn't done anything. His final product, his end product's not good enough. Blah blah blah. Completely ignoring the fact that he's working up and down that wing, helping the fullback out. Completely ignoring that a week ago he scored the winner against Barcelona and played well in the Carabao Cup Final, but then they don't say anything about
pundit not doing the research.
I don't mind him, mate. Like in some sense, some of it.
I don't mind Lee Dixon actually.
In some of what he was saying is true, but they so focused on the players who aren't English.
He knows as well as I do. Manchester United is a totally different club. he is still, what, 22?
Yeah, it takes time, mate. But what annoys me is they ignore Harry Maguire gives the ball away. Harry Maguire's out of position, and it's like, oh yeah, Harry Maguire's had a good game today, haven't he? Because he's won a couple of headers.
It's the same as
ignore it, mate.
It's the same as when you watch these boxing pundits and they're talking boxing. You're thinking, wait a minute, are they watching a different fight than me?
Mm.
So and you see the scores, but yeah, they just whatever fits their agenda, innit?
Yeah, and there is definitely an agenda there, and like I saw. For another example, TalkSport after the Barcelona game, the next day on TalkSport, Jim White goes to Martin Keown. So Paul Scholes said that United are going to win the treble. And then Martin Keown spends like 10 minutes going on about how United are not going to win.
Sam Jordan just
and it's like,
killed him.
Yeah, but it's like Paul Scholes, he didn't even say that. As they were wrapping up the show, he went, we're still in all 4 competitions. And they all laughed. Like, it's just the way they twist everything, and it does my head in, mate. Honestly,
they've always done that, though.
It's embarrassing, though. Yeah, but it's embarrassing. Like, and then I watch like the overlap.
Like an angle. It's like the angle they go.
Yeah, it's an agenda, mate. All the time,
they just don't know what they're talking about. Some of them, they just
and this is
and the proper scarred from the mighty Manchester United in the 2000s.
Yeah, there's a few of them who can't get past that.
100%.
But like,
100%.
What I find
one of them.
Yeah, he is. What I find frustrating about it, though, mate, right, is that you can have shit like that, and there's stuff that Lee Dixon's spouting while ignoring Harry Maguire's mistakes. Is you can then watch the overlap with Carragher and Neville in a much more. Like they're much more themselves rather than, in the studio. It's still in the studio, but it's like it's a bit more relaxed conversation. And they talk so much sense and honesty, but it's not bullshit. There's no agenda behind it. There's no they might have the odd little jibe at each other or whatever, but that's nothing. That's not what we're talking about. But they know what they're talking about. Like if they say something, it's because they know it to be factually true, or because they've seen it, do you know what I mean? Like they've done their research, and I just cannot get my head around the amount of pundits. It almost feels like they're stealing a living because they either don't do their research or they're so keen to focus on certain players. Like look at Souness, he couldn't wait. It's like a meme, innit? That he couldn't wait to criticize Pogba, but like he's the same now. Like Carragher come out and said he was wrong about Martinez. Souness has just gone to TalkSport and spouting the same shit. That he's, Casemiro's a steady Eddie player or whatever, and it's embarrassing. Like I look at that and I just think, how can the host, like someone like Jim White, supposedly
how many fucking steady Eddie players have won 5 Champions League? Seriously, is he fucking taking the piss?
But all right, I can forgive. I can forgive
and just say, you know what, you were wrong. You stubborn fucking knobhead. 5 Champions Leagues.
But even if you base it on this season, right? I could forgive him or other pundits going, "Oh, that's a lot of money to pay for a 30-year-old. Is he coming here for the money?" Yeah, I accept that. But from the second he started playing to now,
remember he didn't play for a bit as well.
Yeah.
Tommy was playing in front of him.
Well, Tommy was on form, wasn't he? He was keeping him out.
I remember he was sat on the bench talking to Ronaldo, but going, "Fucking hell, what am I doing here? Have you seen me?" Ronaldo's that. "Oh yeah, I'm off soon anyway. You just got here, you knob." but he's totally changed it around.
Yeah, I've been amazed. But I again, you got these pundits going, "Oh, I don't know. I didn't realize Casemiro was so good at passing, and he's such an attacking threat." And it's like, have you not watched Champions League football for the last 10 years?
It's not a range of passing like a Paul Scholes or David Beckham. It's them 10, 15 yards, one touch, or the right pace. It's just
You watch the amount of one-touch
right
passes.
back, he pops up a left back, he pops up here, he pops up there, and he's scoring a goal. He's everywhere.
Yeah, I've been really, really impressed with him. But like it's the amount of those little one-touch passes where he'll just have it off a defender and pop it out wide, and it's just
it's the pace of the pass, mate. It's just.
But then you watch McTominay yesterday. Every time Maguire and Lindelof got the ball, McTominay's hiding behind the strikers. So they've got no option. So they're having to go back and sideways, and then the crowd's groaning. But it's not actually, I'll stick up for Harry Maguire. It wasn't his fault. It's because McTominay isn't making himself available the same way that Casemiro does when he's in that position. Right. In terms of, so you had the Barcelona game, which obviously we talked about a little bit last week.
Should give them a goal start when we beat them.
Yeah. Yeah. So you had Barcelona. You've played, so you what? Well, you beat Leicester, Barcelona, Newcastle, and then West Ham. You got Liverpool Sunday. It's quite an incredible run that United are on.
It's tough at Anfield, though.
I think it'll be really difficult because I think Liverpool have just slowly starting to get it together, even though they're defensively all over the shop still. And I think if they defend the way they have recently against the way United play, they could be in trouble.
What's that? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So to get a good full 3 days rest. So
yeah, and you know, a couple of them had the day out, had the week off yesterday, or only played half. So
yeah,
there's a few but I think it has been a hectic schedule. I joked a couple of weeks ago that if United beat Liverpool heavily, that's the end of Klopp. But I kind of stand by that. That I judging by the social media fan, shall we say, and the Talk Sport caller.
I just don't.
Liverpool fans are getting frustrated more with Klopp than they ever have been before. And what I mean by it is if United go and beat them 3-0 at Anfield and Liverpool are dreadful and it's comfortable.
Don't you think that's the way of the world, though? We just live in an impatient world. And really, he's still one of the greatest. We're talking like 6 months ago, he's one of the greatest coaches in the world. So why can't he do that again, what he's done?
In my opinion, Med, Klopp is in the top 3 managers in the world now, still.
So why would you get rid of him?
I wouldn't. I'm saying that's what I think will happen.
So sometimes it's not, the grass is not always green. You've got a manager that knows how to win. If he's done it once, why can he not do it again? So you just got to, it's just a transitional period, isn't it? This is where you need good fans, which mostly Liverpool are.
Yeah, I think the real fans are.
Yeah, exactly. These are all mostly probably, social media fans, the real fans that probably go, yes, they won't be happy, but do they want to get rid of Jurgen Klopp? I very much doubt it.
But they need in the summer the owners to be brave to get rid of some tripe and bring in. They need to spend some money. But I say you need to spend some money. There's some good frees around, and there's, I think, a couple which United, Liverpool, Arsenal should really be looking at in the summer. You got Tillmans is a free from Leicester. You got Rabiot is a free. There was someone else as well.
Rabiot was impressive in the World Cup. He was decent.
Mate, I'd snap him up straight away.
Yeah.
If I was probably United, Arsenal, or City, or Liverpool, because I think he would be a great backup for Casemiro. But he can also do it.
Mum sounds hard work though, so you have to think on that.
Well, that's it, isn't it? But even Tillmans, mate, I think is a phenomenal player.
Tillmans,
Really,
I think he'll end up somewhere like Arsenal. Tillmans,
yeah, I think so.
Not Newcastle.
Yeah, you can't forget Newcastle, mate. They're going to spend some cash. I think they've got to buy a striker in the summer.
Yeah, they've got a few quid then.
But they've got they're not short of cash.
They've got like a sea load of dough.
I think Liverpool just have got to get rid of some of these aging players. That's their problem. They need a centre back badly as well. They need like a top quality centre back so badly. Some of the defending they've done recently has been
cashing on some players. Henderson,
I said last week I'd sell Van Dijk.
Van Dijk as well. I think he's
get some good money for him
since his knee injury.
I think his attitude's changed, Van Dijk as well. I think you can noticeably see that he is not
a bit laxy-daisy in it.
Yeah, he's not the same. Yeah, I would cash in on him because you get good money for him.
The quadruple's still on. Been winding people up with that. It's been great.
Realistically, Med, do you think United will win any more trophies this year? Like, if you're honest and you look at it, what do you think they win?
Yes, I think they could win 3. Not the league.
All the cups. All the cups.
Yeah.
I think
all they've got to worry about in the league and in the cup, in the FA Cup, is probably City. Hopefully, they get them in the final.
And then it's about attitude, isn't it?
Fulham won't be easy because it's at home. I'd still fancy us.
It's about attitude, isn't it? At the end of the day, if United play anyone in the FA Cup other than City, it comes down to attitude.
Yeah.
If their attitude's right,
and where it is it home? Is it away? Or if it's semi-final, is it neutral? It's still at Wembley, isn't it? If it's semi-final.
But even so, mate, I think they're playing anybody but City. They should win if their attitude's right.
Yeah,
because they're quality players.
Yeah, and the Europa League.
There's a few teams left in that. I think
there's a few teams, but the teams that we play
don't listen to the English media. And
I'd still fancy us because there's no strong sets. There's no one really we need to be worried about.
No, I don't.
There's no one better than Barcelona. That's anyway. But it still won't be. It still won't be easy. But I'd still fancy us on two legs as well.
I think I wouldn't be surprised to see an Arsenal United final actually in the Europa League.
That's a possibility.
FA Cup, I think there's a bit of luck in terms of the draw and stuff like that. But
who's left in it? Let's go on. Who's left in it? City, Burnley, United,
Brighton. Look,
United. Who's United playing?
Fulham.
United, Fulham, Brighton,
play Grimsby. Sheffield United play
Blackburn. So that's it. It's quarterfinals, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. So
the next game, you're in the semi-final.
But this is what I'm saying. Like for Tottenham to put a team out without Harry Kane last night, I just thought was mental because, if I'm Brighton now and I'm looking at that draw and I'm thinking, we win this, we're in the semi-final. Brighton should fancy that. They got some quality players. They've smashed Liverpool numerous times this season.
So Brighton would be tough away.
Why should Brighton?
You're not going to get them away now, though, are you? You're not going to get them away. You're not going to get anyone away now because the semi-final is neutral, so it's Wembley, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's still like a Wembley.
Because back in the day, they'd do it at Villa Park or or Newcastle but now they do it at Wembley, don't they?
Yeah, I think the way Brighton dispatched Liverpool twice in a few weeks back. Why should they fear anybody, especially at Brighton? They got nothing to fear from anyone left in the tournament. Even City and United, I'm sure they'd prefer to avoid them, but they played Liverpool off the park, so they should have this attitude that Spurs should have had. In that they should look at that and think, right, we are 2 games away from an FA Cup final. We've beaten
Manchester United Brighton final. That was I think it was 1980. It was 1980. It was a Brighton United final.
81, wasn't it?
Was it 81? No. It might be. It was early 80s anyway. But no, it's still on. I think the league. We've got to have a lot of luck. But then
there's going to be a championship side in the semi-finals because Sheffield United play Blackburn. So it's very open. I think that FA Cup. Because if there's also the fact that United could get City in the next round, and then it's wide open then, isn't it? Because they're your 2 favourites in terms of who's going to be the betting favourites.
Yeah.
I would like to see.
Is it at Sheffield United or is it at Blackburn?
It's at Sheffield United.
Right.
So
it's not far. It's not far. It's only an hour. Not far.
I was going to say it's only up the road, isn't it?
Yeah, not far.
It's only up the road. Leslie says, don't kid yourself. Real Betis are going to batter Man United. Oh, Jesus. So,
Leslie, just say no.
Should I tell you why I disagree with that, Leslie? Is Barcelona are miles clear of at the top of La Liga, and United not only beat them.
Leslie's just giddy because Middlesbrough won a few games. You just need to cool your jets, Leslie.
United should have won at the new camp, shouldn't they? As well, let's be honest. So they outplayed Barcelona in both legs. So
hopefully Middlesbrough go up. That's an easy 6 points for us. That usually is. The old Riverside, lovely place to play football there.
I love.
Except when it's windy, it's freezing.
It's cold.
Northeast is a different cold. Northeast and Glasgow, Scotland, different cold.
I tell you what, let's talk about Middlesbrough a minute. Because I love talking about.
Go on.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about Michael Carrick, mate. I just love the job he's doing, mate. He's just phenomenal. But they lost on Saturday.
Yeah.
And they've been, we've been talking about them. They've
West
been
Brom, though,
building
wasn't
that
it? West Brom are
momentum.
decent, aren't they? I watched bits of that. West Brom, wasn't it?
So up and down. They were very good on Saturday, West Brom. And they have, West Brom have turned it around compared to the start of the season. I think they brought in a new manager, didn't they? And have definitely improved as the season's gone on. But I think Middlesbrough will be disappointed, mate, because they were 4 or 5 on the bounce wins. They were right behind Sheffield United. If they'd beaten West Brom, they'd have been within 4 points of them. So,
but still, they've done very well.
Yeah, God, mate. I think probably 4 weeks ago we were saying that Sheffield United and Burnley are miles away from everyone, and they're going to go up automatic. So even the fact that we're now saying, look, Middlesbrough are not too far behind, I think says a lot about the job that he's done just to get them into the position they're in. I think if Middlesbrough, I would fancy Middlesbrough in the playoffs. I think they've got this bit of experience within the squad. They've done it recently.
It's El Clasico today, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, 8:00 kickoff. Barcelona winning 1-0 at the Bernabeu.
I don't know what's going on with Real Madrid. They just don't seem to be the same. In the league.
Liverpool.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. They don't seem to be the same team in the league as they are in Europe.
Well, City playing Newcastle Saturday.
Yeah, there's some big games on the weekend, isn't there? Some big games in the weekends. You know what else?
So that's why she's saying that Real Betis, so we can play Real Betis. Oh, that's who we're playing. Oh, we're at home first as well.
Thursday. I don't know about that.
No, we are. I'm looking at the fixtures now.
Oh, is it Old Trafford first?
I've still got Sporting Lisbon, which it won't be easy either.
No, that's a difficult one. They've got some good players there. I have Lisbon.
They're at home for last game, though. Sorry, mate, go on.
I was going to just say Cardiff playing Bristol Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. That'd be a feisty one. But in fairness to Cardiff, we do better, marginally better against Bristol in the West Country derby than we do against Swansea in the South Wales derbies, because they never turn up for them. But they're saying that they haven't turned up to the West Country derbies very often either. So
there's still 12. There's still 36 points to play for, and they're only 7 points behind. But Sheffield United got a game in hand.
Yeah.
They're not going to catch Burnley. They're not going to catch Burnley. Burnley have gone.
No, Burnley are long gone.
Burnley will get 100 odd points. But Middlesbrough could do it then if Sheffield United got a fault.
Yeah, I do think.
Now.
Yeah, I do. I fancy Middlesbrough, but it's going to take. Sheffield United had a wobble. It's whether they can turn that cup win yesterday to sort of settle their league form.
Luton, Millwall, Blackburn, if they all have a good run, they could do it as well on 54.
Blackburn unbeaten in 5.
Yeah. Where's Cardiff? Cardiff 21st. Oof. Above the old Warnock, Huddersfield.
Yeah, there's a few there. Like Cardiff will have to beat Bristol because
Bristol looked all right against City then in the week.
Yeah, and they're only literally Cardiff are 4 points ahead of Huddersfield, but they got a game in. Huddersfield got a game in hand, so Cardiff cannot afford to lose against Bristol. It's who have Huddersfield got? Let's have a look. Huddersfield playing Coventry. So yeah, Jesus, Cardiff got to make sure they beat Sheffield United, but Sheffield United. Sorry, not Sheffield United, Bristol City. I was reading.
Blackburn play Sheffield United.
Yeah, Sheffield United got to play Burnley as well soon.
Blackburn play Sheffield United on Saturday in the league.
Blackburn do.
Oof. Played Sheffield United. It's not the live one, yeah.
When's that? Burnley. The Burnley. When's Burnley Sheffield United? It's not till 10th of April. So if anyone know off the top of their head in the comments, do Sheffield United have to play Middlesbrough again? I worry for Cardiff staying up because I just don't know if we're going to score enough goals to stay up. That's my worry. I I do think that when the manager plays the 5-3-2 formation, we look better, we look more solid, and I quite like Connor Wickham up front if we can get Robinson or someone around him, or that Cabba. I like him; he looks good. But Cardiff got loads to do. I saw a couple of people saying the other day on social media, which is never a good sort of metric. But I saw after Cardiff picked up a couple of wins, they were like, yeah, we're staying up now. That's it. We don't need to worry. And I was like, oof, Cardiff, they're on the brink. Like Huddersfield got a game in hand and they're only 4 points behind us. We cannot afford to be anything but picking up wins and draws. We can't afford losses. It's a big job for the manager because if he takes them down, he's always going to be the guy that took Cardiff down to the Championship after so long. Down to League One after being so long in the Championship.
Long way to go, like I say, 36 points is a lot of points to have to play.
Yeah, for. It's a lot. It is a long way to go, isn't it? We're looking at time. If anyone's got any questions, you can get them in.
Yeah, because my eyes are going.
I know you're tired, aren't you? Bless you. Everyone sing a song to Rhodri. Keep him up. What do you make of this Tony thing? So obviously he's got this betting inquiry about placing bets, right? But he's issued a statement today. So he's been charged with 232 breaches in November and December. It's nothing to do with like match fixing or anything like that. It's purely, he's been gambling. So there was a report today. So he's been cooperating with the FA and the inquiry into it. But then there was all these newspaper reports today. So he's issued a statement saying, hang on a minute, this is the second time it's all been leaked. In this newspaper report, it says that I'm going to get a 6-month ban, but I haven't even had my hearing yet. And he basically is asking, if something's confidential, why does it keep getting leaked to the papers? Because only a small circle of people know the details. Him, his people, and the people on the inquiry panel. Yeah, it keeps getting leaked to the newspapers. Do you think he's being unrealistic, expecting it not to be leaked? Or do you think he has a right to keep it private until the hearing's done?
Who's this?
Ivan Toney from Brentford.
Well, it seems to be all out there, doesn't it? He's working with him. What's the precedent for this? Do you know?
So there's been a few players banned, haven't there, over betting?
Joey Barton, like he got loads happened to him.
But I think when he did it, he retire from playing around the same time. So it the effectively the ban didn't really make much difference because he wasn't going to play anyway. I know a few players, as such as with the FA, it's never clear, is it? So but I know there's been some players who've been banned for gambling. I think it depends also if it's what he's gambling on, because they're not supposed to gamble at all, are they? But
no.
And like Will makes a good point there. He says it got leaked when Trippier did it. It got leaked when Barton did it. The rest of the people, every time someone gets done.
Yeah, but these
do the players have any right to
but these footballers are not right. They use their own phones. They're stupid.
Well, it's crazy, mate. Like that they think that they're going to get away with it in this day and age. It's bizarre to me. But do you think they have it when it comes to the, when they're being investigated and stuff like that? Do you think they have any right to try and keep it private until it's been decided, or do you think they're just kind of clutching at straws a little bit?
Who?
Just any of them. The names mentioned, they all got leaked before the verdict was in. It shouldn't, because it's only such a small amount of people who know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's only the panel and then the player and their people. So
no, it shouldn't be leaked because if it's a panel, it's the same thing as if it's a court case. If it's leaked, it could sway someone's judge who sees it, sway someone's opinion either way if they see it or read it or hear about it. So no, it should be kept sealed. But I'll never know how these things get out. Well, I do know, but it just amazes me how they still do.
They always do, mate, don't they? It's just a little envelope and away we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think look, if I was him, I'd be pissed off and I'd be disappointed it's got out. But also, you got to be realistic. It always gets out. It always gets out. So it is what it is. Let's do some predictions, mate. Super 6 predictions for the weekend. Before we do, Man United Liverpool. How do you see that game going? Because part of me thinks United could destroy Liverpool, but then part of me thinks actually Liverpool could actually cause a bit of a shock and find a bit of form just because of the game it is. It's at Anfield. They'll be bang up for it, and they'll suddenly remember how to play football, remember how to defend, and they could cause a bit of a, they could beat United. Yeah. I'm sort of on the fence a bit.
Yeah. 2-0 United.
Thank you for your analytical input.
Yeah, just blah, 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 blah. 2-0 United.
2-0 United. So, the Super 6 this week is interesting. Very interesting. We've got some big games. We've got Arsenal at home to Bournemouth. Should be an easy 3 points, really, for Arsenal. I've gone 2-0 to the Gunners.
Who are they playing? Bournemouth. I'm going to go banana skin, 1-0.
Interesting. Bournemouth been poor, though, recently.
I don't know, but they're up for the big ones, aren't they? Didn't they get a good result last week? Or the week before? Pretty sure they did.
Yeah, they beat Wolves 2 weeks ago. They lost to Man City 4-1 last week.
Yeah.
But, next, then, we got Wolves at home to Spurs. So I've gone 2-1 to Wolves on that one.
1-0 Tottenham.
Sorry, I went 2-1 Spurs, not 2-1 Wolves.
All right, 1-0 Wolves.
Sorry, I meant I went 2-1 Wolves. No, I'm
1-0.
2-1 Spurs.
1-0 Spurs.
1-0. Chelsea at home to Leeds United. Will Chelsea finally score a goal and get some points on the board?
3-2 Chelsea.
Interesting. I've gone for a 1-1 board draw. I want to ask you about Chelsea now in a minute, actually, and Liverpool. Do you think Liverpool make a top 4? Because they're only a couple of points. They're only a couple of points off with a game in hand. And that's what I mean. Like, United is a bit of a banana skin, because if they beat United, they are really in with a good shot.
Yeah, yes, they will, because I always thought Newcastle will fall off because they haven't got the quality in depth. Yeah. And teams...
And Spurs are just Spurs, aren't they?
And teams are just, they're up there, so they treat them as a real team. So, I think the team's cotton on, so they leave it a bit tighter, so for Newcastle to break them down. That's why you haven't seen them score many goals. They don't concede many either, though. So,
no.
But yeah, thinking about that, 2 points behind. Nunes back, Salah back, Firmino's just come back.
Yeah, I think Liverpool will as well. I think, although
Newcastle
again, because Spurs will definitely drop points between now and the end of the season, so they won't hold on to it.
Yeah,
the thing with Liverpool is, I think if they get stuffed by United on the weekend, that might affect their confidence. But if they could pick on Sunday, if they could pick up a win or a draw,
you said if though. I said when?
What? No, if Liverpool can pick up a win on Sunday,
all right, okay.
Yeah. Then I think that could galvanise them towards that. But I also think if they were to lose heavily, that could also work the other way on Sunday.
That's the one you got wrong. When do you lose?
I apologise. Yeah. I'm impartial, mate. You know that.
I have positive thinking. That's what I'm doing.
Southampton at home to Leicester. I've gone 2-0 Leicester, mate. I have.
Southampton are a funny team, aren't they, though?
Yeah, they've lost 4 of the last 5, though. The only team they beat
is
the only team
my decision on the day on that one will result in a James Maddison fit or not fit.
Yeah, that's that.
So if he's fit, Leicester win. If he's not, I go for Southampton.
Interesting.
It's that simple.
The only
1-0 either way.
I've gone 2-0 Leicester. The only team Leicester have beaten in the last 5 games, they've lost all their other games, is Chelsea. That's how bad Chelsea are at the moment. Nottingham Forest versus Everton, at Forest. I've gone 1-1.
2-1 Everton.
Interesting. And then what did you say for 2-0 United for the United Liverpool, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think 3-1 United. I got a feeling United are going to
3-1.
give them a bit of a pace.
I'll take that.
You'll have that, will you?
Yeah, I'll take that.
Last thing I want to discuss, mate, before we close out. Graham Potter. Under pressure, mate, isn't he? Like big pressure.
Yeah. From the outside, yes, but I don't think this chairman's the knee-jerk type. So he's invested a lot of money.
He invested a lot of money before he sacked Tuchel, though, as well, didn't he? And then he just sacked him.
I know, but that wasn't his guy, was it?
Yeah, and I think
these owners come in, they like their own guy, don't they?
Yeah, and I think also
unless his name's Eric Ten Hag.
I don't know, mate. Maybe if the Qataris take over, they sack him.
Piss off.
They might want
He's done in the space for 7 months. They would the Qataris would be the called. They might as well just call them Malka and Avram Glazer.
They want Poch in charge, don't they?
Yeah, stop. Imagine that. And then Liverpool snap up Ten Hag or some other like Tottenham or no. This guy is there'd be riots, mate. Be riots.
He is very popular, isn't he?
Yes.
Like he's universally popular.
Yeah.
In fairness to him though, mate.
He still rides around on his bicycle.
Does he?
Yes.
Around Manchester.
In the news today that him and his wife rode their bicycle to the estate agents to go house hunting. So,
can't fault him.
Yeah.
Now,
parked the bike in the estate agents and went to, or maybe they travelled on bikes. So, let us know where it is and we'll meet you there on our bicycles.
Mm-hmm. Everything.
You know the Dutch like bicycles. I'm sure you've been to Amsterdam to sprinkle the local festivities. So you know all about Amsterdam. I'm on the bike riding.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I got a bad back, haven't I? So I can't ride bikes like I used to.
Yeah.
But I've always enjoyed a good old bike ride.
Beautiful coffee shops, beautiful canals, museums, yeah. Two swords, and a very interesting nightlife.
Yes, it's a quiet one, isn't it? It's a quiet one, psychedelic.
Yep.
What about Ten Hag? Like in terms of everything he does tactically, just everything's coming off for him, isn't it? Like, and I saw some people saying yesterday, he played the reserves, and they had to bring on the big boys.
No, but he's been doing that. I'm not playing reserves. I mean, bringing players on to literally his in-game management is top notch.
Doesn't wait, does he? He kind of gets stuck in.
No, but the players he brings on impact the game. Rashford impact the game. Casemiro impact the game. Fred scored impact the game when he come on. Who else was it? Martinez when he come on. Added that bit of steel and composure and bringing the ball out. Who else? There's one more that come on. I think it's McTominay, wasn't it? But yeah,
McTominay went off, didn't he? McTominay was shocking.
They all come on and made an impact. So yeah, it's every game.
How many of those players now?
This is why you say a squad is important, and if you're on the bench, don't get upset because you can come on and win the game. So,
look at
this week it was Garnacho. Last week it was Rashford. The week before it was Sancho. Then it was Anthony. So yeah, good all round. Everything's good and rosy at the minute.
Yeah,
we're not even fucking started.
He's getting everything right. I think it's fair to say.
Correct.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how long.
No, even if we don't, this is the only cup we win and we get in the Champions League. No one would have even expected
snapped
that.
Your hand,
Start the season to snap your hand off. But now, he's got us in the mix. So that's all.
I think the problem will come is if the Glazers decide to stay, because then the transfer window is vastly different.
Yeah. No, that's not. Well, you say that it's not really, is it? They just spent what
But it is, isn't it? Because
Casemiro, 70 million. No, but they
Yeah.
still spend big money, mate. They've still been selling.
Right, but can you see them spending? For instance, if the Qataris take over, United will be in for Jude Bellingham.
Spending will be still the same. The thing over if the Glazers stay, then everything's the infrastructure stays the same. The training ground stays the same, which is 20 years old. The fucking ground's falling to pieces, literally leaking roof. So that needs renovating, if not new ground. This is Manchester United. You know, you need to be. I can quote Gary Neville. This is Manchester United. So they've got to do. They've got. If they stay, they've got to invest, and they're not going to do that. So because they're just leeches rinsing the club.
Well, I saw one thing. They're saying that they're like some equity company is going to give them $2 billion to fix the stadium and that. And I was just thinking, yeah, it's not giving them $2 billion. It's just putting more debt on United to like do the stadium and that. They got to go, mate. As a football fan, I want to see them go because I just cannot, for the life of me, see how they've got the goal to stay after they have rinsed the club the way they have, and then they're gonna
maximize what they can get. So
well, and this is the other thing I think.
Chelsea sold for what $3.5 billion. United's worth more than Chelsea. I know Chelsea's prime real estate because it's Stamford Bridge and Chelsea, but come on.
Yeah, but if you're the Glazers, mate, how do you drive the price up for the Qataris and the rest of the bidders by leaking reports to the papers that you've got equity, which means or investment, which means that you can now stay and you're not sure if you want to sell the club. So the Qataris chuck another $1 billion on, and they want $6 billion, don't they? And at the moment, they haven't got that.
You play chess. You play chess?
I do. I'm excellent at chess.
Yeah, well, there you go then. So it's just a chess game at the minute.
Do you think by the summer United have new owners? Just to finish us.
Yes.
And do you think that Graham Potter will still be in charge of Chelsea at the start of next season? Do you think Jurgen Klopp will still be at Liverpool at the start of next season?
3 yeses.
Do you think Jude Bellingham will be playing Premier League football at the start of next season?
Let's go 4 yeses.
Can I get one more? Do you think Harry Kane will
Cardiff City will get relegated? No.
Yes, they will. Do you reckon Harry Kane signs for Man United for the 5 yeses? It's a tricky one because
if he does leave Tottenham, he goes to Manchester United.
It makes the most sense.
If he doesn't, then he obviously if he's obviously staying. But if he does leave, there's only one place he can go.
Okay. Leslie wants a 6th yes. 6th yes. Do you think Middlesbrough will get promoted?
No, they'll get beaten in the playoff final.
Oh, brutal. What do you think the score will be in Cardiff and Bristol on Saturday? 2-0 Cardiff, I'm going.
1-1. 1-0.
Come on, the boys.
1-0.
And there was one other question.
2-2, actually. 2-2.
2-2. And do you think... what do you think the score will be between Middlesbrough and whoever Middlesbrough are playing on the weekend? Reading.
Oh, they'll win that one. Yeah, easy. 3-1.
Easy. What do you think the final top 4 will be in the Premier League at the end of the season?
Well, I've already said it.
I want to see if you've changed your mind. Do you think United are going to win the league?
No.
Second?
City. City, Arsenal. It's a mix up between who comes second, United and Arsenal. But I don't think Arsenal. I think Arsenal, if they do, then they would have, they would have deserved it. Like any team who finishes top of the league, they deserved it. I hear this crap that they've got so much luck this year. You earn your own luck, and you need a bit of luck to win leagues. I've seen it many times over the years. You've got to have luck to win leagues and win trophies. So, yeah, if they do, then they've fully deserved. But I still think City will catch them. They've got to play them once again at City, and they've still got some big games coming up. So, yeah, long way to go yet. We've got to understand we're a bit behind.
Yes, we are. Yeah, it feels like we're coming to the end of the season, but we're actually not.
No, and even though it's in March, there's still like 12 or 10, 12 games to go. So
Yeah. And the
30 points to play for.
last
Long
question. The current bottom 5 are West Ham. Oh, I'll give you the bottom 6 because bottom 7 because they're all so close together.
Leeds, Southampton, Bournemouth.
Leeds, Southampton. Everton going to avoid the drop again.
Everton, Sean Dyche.
Second year in a row.
Is a masterstroke by Everton.
No,
masterstroke.
No, I think they can.
Do you want to bet?
No. I don't gamble. Ronaldinho's son has joined Barcelona's academy. There you go. We'll finish on that.
Lovely.
Reece says if he leaves Spurs, that he reckons Harry Kane goes to Bayern Munich because Daniel Levy won't sell to United. Daniel Levy will take the money that is on offer from whoever.
Daniel Levy will not have a choice because then Harry Kane will say, "Okay, I'm staying here for another year, and then
I'll go free."
See you in a bit, Daniel. So now Harry Kane's got a bit of leeway. He's got a year
he's
left.
got a bit of leverage, haven't he? Now
6 months in 4 or 5 months time at Christmas, I can sign for someone else, mate. So one of your own becomes
free agent.
Yeah.
Leslie says one more question. Are Cardiff staying up? We already answered this. We already answered that. He said that Cardiff staying up.
Yeah. Yes.
Go on, lads. Yeah. Right. As always, mate, appreciate your time. Appreciate your knowledge. Well done for staying awake for the full hour. Here he is. Come on. Bring on the dog.
Hey, man.
Here he is. Look at him. What was he chewing behind you?
He was chewing on something. He was choking on it. But when I give him an old tap on the top of the head, it pops it out.
There we go. Right. Nice one, guys. Check out Four Sigmatic Coffee. Use the code Ace Nation. I forgot to do that. Oops. Ace Nation for a nice big discount. And it's really, really good coffee. You can do it subscriptions or you can do a one-off purchase. Ace Nation. Get a nice discount. It's lovely stuff. Keeps you going for the whole day. Keeps you sharp. Until next week, we bid you farewell. Take care. God bless. Laters.